Hello! Sorry, I was dancing to the music because I got my headphones in today. That's fun. Hi guys. Hopefully the mic's a little bit better today. Thank you for those that have let me know. I'm not sitting where I normally do, which is why my setup's a little bit different. Hey Priscilla, yes is what I get on that actually, just straight away, just while I'm sitting here. Within like a couple of months. Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm distracted reading all the comments. How are you all? Thank you for joining me today. I am here just for a little bit shorter. I will go as long as I can, only a little bit shorter, but I do need to go and pick up the beautiful Elijah to babysit. So guys, just the usual, no pregnancy, no legal, no health questions. Please, if you want a specific answer, ask a specific question. I know it's boring, and I hope I am boring you with it because it means that people are starting to get it. Scam alert. The friend requests and messages sent just asking for readings or sending you a friend request. As a professional psychic medium, I would never ever absolutely do that. Okay, guys, these are scam pages. Please just ignore them. If you want to report, you can report the photo and not the page. Facebook doesn't really seem to be doing a lot about it anyway, so really the best thing you can do is just ignore. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my chair. So yeah, I know it's boring, but again, I hope I am boring you because it means that you've heard me say it twice. Because unfortunately, I did actually have somebody get this fire's credit card details, and so I would rather say it 100 times and bore you guys than have somebody lose 1 cent to some scam and person. Thank you. You can't really see the colour of my chakra earrings. These are by Crystalistic. They're so beautiful. I love them. Alright, let me give a shuffle and get started. I can see there's a couple of you that have just flicked past as well that I have messages from sitting in my inbox. Just before I was getting on, I got like a big download, so I'll jump on them a little bit later. Alright, let me catch up to... So guys, you are welcome to comment more than once. If I do happen to miss you, the comments do move fast. Please don't smash the page, but absolutely... Hello. I'll just give me 2 seconds. Hey, how are you? We've been wondering about how you're going. I hope that you're doing okay. All that crazy weather around you. Alright. Lovely. Cool bananas. I thought you were actually going to get the New Beginnings card out actually, but you've got everything around it, so that's just as good. You've got the Transformation card that's there, and this is on you, all of this energy, like blossoming into true self, and I feel like it's been quite a frustrating process, and like one that's kind of like, when we got a jumper on and it's woolen, probably like going back to kids and stuff that our precious grandparents knitted us and things, like when she's like, oh, I've got to get this off. That's what that energy feels like around you, and so it's like, you're just ready to step forward. You've kind of like, you know now this jumper is the cause of the itch, and that's what's making me uncomfortable, so that's what I'm removing, and it's a really nice energy. But again, like things like that are frustrating, so I don't doubt the angst in it, but I want you just to honour that and realise that it's moving to a good place. You've got the Completions card. One door closes and another one opens. Now with this card, there's usually a little bit of unwanted energy, like some of these completions have been forced on you, for want of a better word. But I want to say to you though, and I'm sure you've heard me say that it's that beautiful bush, after the fire comes through, it's actually regeneration and all that beautiful new growth and everything that's been lost through that, given to the bush. We're not talking about homes and people and things, but when we look at it in just that bush that's there, it's a beautiful clear space for new beginnings. Okay, cycles, beginnings and endings are in natural order, so really follow the flow at the moment. Make choices around you that are a little bit daring, because you've got you've done your risk assessment, for want of a better word. You had the a jump card, which was security, which is nice. It just means that the decisions and the choices that you're making right now, you can trust that they're the right ones. Okay, there's definitely a nice big shift coming in and around you, and I want you to kind of allow it and embrace it and go, yep, this is what I want, this is for me, and really just allow yourself to move forward. I do feel off the back of that initial change that's there. So this is probably something to do. The reason why, I'll tell you what's in my head. Like, I feel like there's that big shift that's there, but then say like around 12 months, 8 months, thereafter, I'm wanting to shift around the home. Sometimes shifts for me in homes can mean renovations and new things and stuff like that, but either way I'm going to keep that energy there. But it's what's happened here that's allowed that movement to come through, and that's a really nice energy up there as well. So relationships, job changes, all of that kind of stuff, that'll be sitting around with there. So definitely keep doing what you're doing, but just really own it, really own it, and demand it. Demand it because you're ready for it. And take that woolen jumper and put it somewhere safely because Grandma made it. But other than that, like, rip it off and just okay. So I hope that helps. I love Grandma, so that part of me just has to say, we're just using a metaphor. Bless Grandmas. All right, thank you, Natalie. Kimberly. How are you? Good luck with reading. Thank you kindly. Sorry, it's got like a little hair. It's funny, Kimberly, I want to say that the energy around you feels laggy is the word that I get, and I don't feel that this is anything that you're doing. I feel like it's the energy around you is lagging. Perhaps having to deal with, what it feels like, having to deal with a lot of relationship stuff, and not necessarily intimate details, relationships, but relationships around, I said it's details within there. It's like, it's that kind of energy that sits with it. But I feel like within that, there's almost delays being created for yourself, so it's like, oh, come on, will you hurry up and get your room clean so we can go out, just to use an example. It's that sort of energy. It's like other people's actions are creating delays for you, all right? But it's like it's like you're literally just waiting to pick up your handbag and walk out the door. You're there, you know what needs to be done, but they're getting slowed down. I want you to kind of... look, let me just see what you've got there. You've got the answers card, okay, which talks about the answers are blowing in the wind. There's lessons within. And when I say to you, like whatever's hitting over here that's inhibiting us to move forward, when I use the analogy of, well, your room has to be clean before we go out, using that example and take it further, and we'll say, well, you know what, that's not done. I'm just going to have to leave you here because I need to go. I have to be on time. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? Don't let other people's energies and restrictions be the reason why you're waiting, okay? Because you're being really patient, but they're now, as I said, making you late. All right. You've got the external conflict card, which talks about conflict caused by outside forces and people, and as I said, that's the energy that I see. And you've got the health card, and that talks about, again, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental health, and it's about sort of not letting this situation again sort of drag you down. It just feels really laggy energy that's there. But as I said, I feel like your patience and your loyalty is kind of like, you've been tested enough, and it's okay to actually let people finish doing what they're doing over there while you keep moving forward, okay? Don't feel guilty about that either, ever, for anyone. Don't ever feel guilty about having to move forward because somebody else is choosing to stand still, in whatever context that is. So when we actually sit with that and we put that energy in that we need to create those shifts, you get the change of luck card that comes straight through, all right? And just, being positive, like your attitude is a choice. And I know you're positive because you wouldn't be so patient if you weren't, but it's being positive in knowing that your choice to honour yourself is okay. That makes sense. As you kind of know here, it's like, yeah, I know. All right, and so just honour that and just, it's okay. Yeah, see, improvement of self and situations, patience card, and just knowing shit happens. Watch your balance. There's your nice spirit card just watching over you and taking your worries and doubts one at a time. So you need to trust in yourself and you need to take a chance, okay? You need to look at the bigger picture and you need to detox away from you what is no longer serving, okay? And this detox card always represents something that isn't new. That's why I've used a volcano. Picture the volcano. It can sit dormant for years and years and thousands of years, but underneath it all, it's been brewing and one day it just explodes. And so that's what it is. If we don't deal with this sort of stuff that's now, it'll explode off its own accord, okay? So I hope all of that helps. The biggest sort of thing that I keep coming back to in that is that beautiful part of you that's like, oh, but I feel bad. You know what would, if that was you that was sitting there that was missing out, and you split yourself into and you're looking at you, explain to yourself why you're missing out and see how bad you feel. Does that make sense? I want you just to keep moving forward, and yeah, don't let feelings of guilt and all of that sort of stuff actually hold you back, okay? I know they're easy words to say, but when we spend some time and have a look at the perspective, right, we get enough validation behind it that makes it okay. Alright, so I hope that helps. Alright, let me catch up with the comments. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm just, you know what, I'm allowed to. It's my live feed. I'm just going to put it on for a second. No, it does. It makes it, it's nice. Thank you very much. Guys, just again, and I see it there a couple of times now, so I'm not picking on anybody, but what do I expect in 2022 is it's a reading. I can't give a question like that in 5 minutes on a live feed, so I will jump over those questions even if I'm drawn to you, simply because, as I said, I can't, it's too big a question. Break it down a little bit. I'd rather say that to you guys so you can be specific, like, oh, okay, I'd really like to know about work or relationships or whatever within that, but yeah, I can't on a whole year in 5 minutes. I just wouldn't do that to you, so it's not fair. You're very welcome, Natalie. Alright, Mel. Hey, we'd love a card, please. Thanks heaps. Mel, when I sit with your energy, I feel quite drawn around family with you, and almost in similar ways, just that energy that's there of not really like big problems or whatever, but you know, we deal with this person, we deal with that person, we're trying to help this person's need this, and it's like there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word interference, but I'll use it as a descriptive purpose, but interference feels too, you know, it doesn't quite have that energy attached to it, but there's a lot of focus and attention going outwards rather than inwards around the family home. There would definitely be some tensions within that as well, okay? But I feel like I can just go, there's just some tensions within that. Work as well feels like I want to come into that sort of stuff. Yeah, a lot sitting around and going on at the moment. And within that, when I say you're trying to be everything for everyone, I still feel that you keep a balance, but I want to bring just a little bit more balance to that as well. Clearing out the stables, out with the old and in with the new. And notice the shovel of poo that is on there. You know what, there's always an energy that I've learned to honour within myself as well, that when my words halter, when I do that, like when my energy halters, it's because I'm like feeling confused and I don't know what to do, and that's not here, that's like the energy that I'm tapping into. And for me always it's just coming back to that ground zero and giving yourself a sort of clear point of, you know, like when we've been looking at something for so long, it gets harder and harder to see. You know, if you stare at something, it literally will go blurry after a while. Situations and things like that can be the same. And so if we let everything just sort of sit to the side, bring ourselves back to a clean table and go, okay, well, this is what's happening with Pop, and this is what's happening here, and this is what's happening with Mum, and this is da 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 da. And again, I'm just using examples. I'm not saying the specifics, but allowing yourself some clarity over each thing, and then just seeing where everything's off balance and allowing yourself to be present in the solution. When I say present in the solution, what I mean is like give yourself something back. Okay, don't be afraid to just clear out what no longer serves. I feel like behind you, as soon as I jump onto your last card, which you've got the leaf card again as well, which this to me is always like the leaves blowing down the path. You know, you've just got to go down the path. You might not always have the answers that you've got, but the answers are blowing in the wind, you know. The answer. I'm not going to sing, but that's the energy that comes into it. And so it's almost like, you know, when we wait for everything to be absolutely perfect before we move on, but perfect never happens, and we tend to sort of delay because there's so much energy there for you. I actually feel like there's it may even be like a study, or you know, I want to go for a promotion at work, or I want to bring this in, but that's something that I'm bringing into myself, but I'm waiting for this to be out of the way before I can do it. But I want to say to you again, just sort of start putting things into place. You know, like when we've got time, we make time. When we're out of time, we get it done. I want to say, like, just put it in place, and then you'll get everything done that you need to towards that. Even if that feeling for yourself has been something that kind of lingers in the background, like, oh gee, I'd really like to do that, or I've been talking about doing that for the last 5 years. Now is the time to actually bring that into play and into energy, okay? Because the thing is, if we don't actually stop ever and take that time to put those things into play, the energy I get around that is, let's go forward a couple more years, and it feels like there's a little bit of resentment building and a little bit of, like, you know, crankiness with self and things like that. So I want to really, really implore you just to stop, check in with yourself, see what things are around you that are actually hindering and impeding on you, that you're holding on to, that you don't necessarily need to, and start shuffling out. And I hear my words. I know that words are easy to say, but these are all things that, you know, I understand the substance behind. So it's not like just go clear it away. I get it. But the balance needs to be better, okay? So I hope all of that helps. There's such a nice strong energy around you when you start doing that. I feel so much joy and happiness, which is why I'm happy to kind of sit here and push towards it a little bit, because I get that silly smile that I can't control on my face as soon as I see you putting action and energy into that card, okay? So it's a really nice strong positive, but just work on the balance so we can get to that point. So I hope that helps. Okay. Gabrielle, not Gabrielle, sorry, I was focusing in the middle of your name. Beverly. You know what? I want to have a little bit of a giggle with you around this one, okay, because I can't see you. Like, I know you're there, and I know that you're out and about a little bit, and, you know, little bits and pieces and things like that, but I still, like, and I'm smiling with this, okay, but if I'm sitting in, like, just going to use an example, but say I'm sitting in a restaurant, and, you know, I can see you across the room, and I can see you at the table, and I've looked at you and I've smiled at you, and you've caught my attention, and I feel all of a sudden, you know, like you look shy. It's like, oh, you know, so it's that's when I say I can't see you. Like, don't be afraid to smile back at me. Don't be afraid to trust that those feelings that feel like, you know, little flirts and bits and pieces towards you are there. Allow the excitement and the energy to come into place, because I believe, if I am correct, that you've actually surpassed your time frame. Okay, I really kind of expected this in beforehand, and it's not about what we're doing wrong. And always remember that when you get a reading, it says the energy sits on that day, and there's been a lot of universal shifts and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, again, I'm sitting with a smile on my face. I still feel good here, but a little bit more energy, a little bit more action. Okay, a little bit more energy, a little bit more action. I'm going to just say this year, at this point in time, I'll be a little bit fairer and say, like, a little bit fairer. You know why I don't want to put a time frame on it to it? That's there because I want you just to have fun with it, and I want you just to explore with it, okay? So that's what I want to do with it, because I don't want to go, oh, but it's supposed to be here. What do I, you know what I mean? I don't. That energy doesn't have a place here right now. I just want you to enjoy it, have fun and excitement. Look up when someone smiles at you, smile back, and allow yourself just that little bit of joy, okay? I get it. I know that you're out. I know that like I can hear you saying, but I'm doing those things. Add to. And again, if there's been a little bit of restriction because of, you know, universal shifts, all of that's kind of clearing here and there and, you know, back again. But you get my point, so I won't dribble on too much about it, okay? I'm still sitting here feeling really nice and positive as well, so I really want to instill that faith and keep that faith within yourself. But again, yeah, just, here's some glitter. Go and throw that glitter over the love life. Add a little bit of sparkle. Alright? Enjoy. Alright, Sarah! I feel like around you right now, like literal around you right now, it's like there's been, I don't want to necessarily say promises that haven't been kept, but promises that haven't been followed up on. You know, and promises are, yep, this is what we can expect in 12 months, you know, and possibly as much as, yeah, you specifically in 12 months are going to do this, and it's not sitting around. So I want to say promises aren't being kept, that it's not being followed up on. There's a real feeling of hitting the ceiling, and before I just say that, I literally just saw you float up to the ceiling, okay? So where you're at now, I feel like there's not a lot of more room and movement that can come into play. Okay, so it's time to kind of stretch out. There's a really, I've got quite a active imagination, and it's, I'll give you what I got, because it's in my head, as crazy and loony as it sounds. When I said that, I was picturing your building as a cylinder. It was a grey cylinder, and I saw you sort of float up to the top of it, and as I said, they were showing me that you'd hit the ceiling there wasn't much space. And then when I said that you needed to step out, it was literally like you did, you know, like on the cartoons when they give someone a magic potion, they get too big for the building and their arms come out of the windows, you know. So you're wearing this building and you just kind of stepped up and out of it, and that for me is really nice symbolism. It's like the energy that you've earned here, you're going to take it and you're going to use it, but you're going to step on and move much bigger, okay? But it's you that has to push your arms out of that building, okay? So just, yeah, have it into consideration of where you are, where you need to go to actually make that happen. When I say that, I feel like there's a little bit of a gap in the confidence of the transition that's there, but yeah, well, have fun with it, and I feel like you've got all the tools and resources that you need. It's just, you know, backing it up a little bit with your own sense of confidence that sits there. I can see that the next shift that you make is a nice one. Okay, it's like, when I say it's a nice one, I get that it's a decent amount of time. I don't feel like it's forever, but that will be because another bigger opportunity comes along. It's not a negative shift out on that, but I can see that you're there. I get like 2-5 years, which I know is a bit of a gap that's there, but you know, there's lots of opportunity and potential that can sit in it. You link in really well with your manager in that role that's there, okay? It's a really nice strong link that you get, and she really advocates for you, and even on a personal level, you just get on really well. So there's nice shifts there, there's nice movements there. As I said, I can sit and daydream with it and just flow along with it, but there needs to be, yeah, where you're at right now, there's not going to be much more movement, so it's actually up to you now to decide, yeah, okay, that was my next step, and start putting the things into steps to make it happen, and you'll find that it'll follow suit very nicely. That whole thing there, I feel like could take up to 6 months, okay? Not because you're like constantly looking for jobs, but because there's that initial energy to put in and everything else like that. But just as I'm winding out and pulling back, that to show me that from here to here, it's about 6 months. Alright, so I hope that helps. Alright, I'll just catch up with the comments and have a drink of water while I do that. The code for January is January. Needed water. So yeah, you'll get 25% off of any reading. You can do video or phone with that. Just quickly, I'm not going to jump into it, but my books are available. 33 Ways How to Self-Sabotage and Make Life Harder Than It Needs to Be. I may be having an internet issue. My Wi-Fi thing just turned up. That looks alright. And the tarot book and the money journal as well. There's lots of information around them on the page. I'm here for a shorter time, so I'm not going to spend time going on about them today. But yeah, use the January code if you would like to. You're absolutely welcome, Sarah. Absolutely welcome. You guys like just, yeah, like my, I don't know, happy place, I guess is the word I have to use to describe it. Procrastinating badly. I don't know anything about that. I'm so bad. But I'm mindful of it, and so I'm getting better of it. And I know things to, yeah, listen to, okay, so listen to what I'm saying. But just in that as well, procrastination is absolute, okay? So recognising the procrastination is the first thing in it, and recognising the fear that's there. You know, for me it always comes down to, I remember especially like when I was first doing live feeds and stuff like that, you know, I'd have to do this first and have to do that. I didn't have to do any of those things first, but they all of a sudden become important. But what they did is they allowed me to create delay, you know, justified delay, when really all it come down to is just that I was really nervous. And so recognising why we're procrastinating, and it's okay to hold fear, like it absolutely is okay to hold fear, but it's not okay to like sit there then and wrap it around your shoulders and sit in it. And I get it, it takes time sometimes. Gee whiz, it took me a freaking very long time to, and I still do, I still to this day have to step through some massive fears, you know, but that's the thing around it, is I recognise it and I sit there with it and I step forward with it. And so this is a really nice opportunity for growth. And yeah, I know everything's an opportunity for a lesson, but that's what life is, you know. So I want to say to you that you'll actually be glad that you move forward. This is the more that you're procrastinating, the more that you're getting weighed down on your shoulders. And it's almost like now the delay of the procrastination is just as enduring as the task itself. All right, so just stop and release it away. Like, you know, I'll be honest with you, and I know I've said it before, it's no secret, but if you watch me on stage ever, you'll never see me wear cotton. A cotton shirt, anything that will show sweat patches, I will not wear on stage, because one, you get hot when you connect, but I'm nervous absolutely nervous. I just want to do my absolute best for you guys, and I get up there and I freak out, and so I sweat. And so the polyester hides it well. Let me pull you some cards. Yeah, just get it done. You know. You know what I mean? You know, sit and recognise why. Procrastination is such the feeling of triumph on the other side when we actually just get it done. It's pretty nice. Alright, so, I think you know what your cards are going to say. You've got the transformation card, okay, so blossoming into true self, and that's why I said, I'm sorry, as cliche as it is, this is an awesome opportunity for lessons and realising our own limits and where our procrastination is and all of those little bits and pieces, because you know what happens? This time you recognise it, next time you recognise it even sooner, you know, you start to kind of go, and just, you know, you'll push yourself just that little bit quicker. Catch the rainbow, your goals are not impossible, and that's the thing, I feel like you know that this is a good, you know, regardless of what's attached to it, you know, and so just allow yourself to move forward. Be open to embracing the changes that need to come in, okay? They're there, they're literally like, you know, knock yourself out. I hope all of that has helped. There's no magic sticks, unfortunately, that I can rub together that's going to make you release that, but I promise you, when you recognise where that procrastination is coming from, and it is fear, okay, and it could be just whatever that fear is for you, sit with it and recognise it, honour it, own it, and then, you know, beat that bitch's ass. Alright? I hope that helps. It's a task, but honestly, one's that's so well worth it. Alright. Kirsty, you just jumped up there all on your little lonesome, so you're obviously meant to be read for. Let me just slow the messages down. You're quite intuitive. Keep doing what you're doing with it. Keep doing what you're doing with it. You've got those hot hands that you get as well. You're good with energy. Okay, you're good with energy. I always say like the healer's hands. Just a nice way to describe it. So if you're ever drawn to anything like around Reiki or energy healing and stuff like that, you'll find that you'll be a natural at it. If you're not already doing it. Alright, let me have a look. Be mindful of relationships around yourself. Make sure that you're honouring yourself. Too many second chances. It's not second chances. It's just putting up with somebody's crap, okay? Sometimes people need, you know, just a little bit more time. Whatever else is there. But just honour that feeling. All about the honour this year. Alright, so you've got the spirit card that comes out around you, which when I created this deck, so for those of you that don't, I'm sure most of you do by now, but this is my deck. This is the deck that I created. It will be available at some point. I'm writing the book, so when I say at some point, it's in the works. Anyway, not my point. But when I made this deck, Spirit specifically said, no, we want a sign, you know, much like we find a feather or a coin or, you know, all of those beautiful things that Spirit share with us. This is a share from Spirit as well, okay? There's a really nice energy that's there and connected to it. You know, actually I get some of that around your age, female-wise, that actually connects in with that card that's there. So I'll leave that thought there with you. But the following card is your prosperity, okay? And it talks about financial growth and stability, all of those sort of things to do with abundance. Now, with this card, I don't necessarily just want to go to you, oh, you know, money's about to improve really great around you and blah, 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 blah. I actually feel like there's I'm going to say substantial amount of work that's sitting around you right now just to do you just a little bit more solidly, and it's nice. I just feel like I don't feel like you've been disregarding or, you know, anything else like that. You actually feel to me like you're, as I said, quite intuitive and quite onto it. But empaths and things like that, if I speak from personal experience, it's like hard. It doesn't even begin to describe it. But it's not always just an easy journey, and so I feel like you've been through that, and you're starting to kind of know to put all the pieces together. I keep wanting to click a little case around you. That's what I'm doing with my hands. It's shiny. Regardless of that, I procrastinate. But do you understand the work here that needs to be done? Okay, so just that needs to be done, and things need to be released. With that, the prosperity card steps in. Now, with that card that sits there with it, as I said, I want to be quite mindful around the financial aspect of it, because what I think you're going to find is the things that you've released here, one, will create a step for you where you do actually shift in and change, and I feel like that's part way through the year. I'm going to say part way, halfway, around that halfway mark through the year, but it's also what this is no longer costing you that adds to that prosperity as well, okay? So again, that this is where my energy is. I want to implore you in the moments that you are right now just to get that case nice and sparkly, and perhaps, you know, that's also symbolic of packing up a few things. So taking a moment, gratitude and rest are needed, okay? So for me, gratitude is just that. Gratitude is about getting yourself to a point where you can appreciate the natural beauty around you. And again, I'm not saying that you don't appreciate those things, but when we need to do lessons, and we need to, you know, move through this energy that's there, taking simple moments of sitting by water, you know, things that we enjoy. For me, again, I'm going to say it, the blue sky and the green trees against it, you know, the feel of the wind on your skin, they ground us, they bring us back, and they fill us with clarity, and they fill us with motivation, and they give us a sense of self that enables us to step and keep moving forward. All right. With strong growth, I do believe this, okay? I do believe that some of us are just going to go through just more kind of moments, you know, but there's purposes to that, you know what I mean? I don't always want to make reference to myself, but I make the perfect example sometimes. Yeah, for the first 35 years of my life, thereabouts, I'm 44, you know, it's no big secret. For the first 35 years of my life, anyway, I'm not going to sit too perspective. Let's just say for those 30 years in my life, I lived in domestic violence. I lived in, you know, self-abuse. I lived in, and within all of that energy that's there, I so often was just like, when's this, you know, going to stop? When's this, was that, all of that stuff that's there. At this point in time in my life, when I actually, you know, put a stop and started honouring myself, and as I said, I know it's sort of a quick journey, it's taken me years and years, and it's something I still work on. My self-criticism can be huge, but when I started to take in all of those things, what I realised that all of that experience, everything that I'd been through, I had a very, very, very specific use for now. You know, and so that's where I want to say, don't be dismayed in your journey. Don't feel like there's no point to it or anything else like that. And give me context. I'm not saying you're down here on the 200 or, you know, dreary, but just on a deeper thought, just on an extension that's there. I just feel that I want to share that with you, because those lessons and these experiences, they're going to be a bigger part of something that's going to be magical and special, you know. And for me, it's that ability to resonate and to connect. And I would not trade not one moment of that horror, because this is where I'm at now, you know. And for me, it's that purpose. And so it's peace, it's forgiveness, it's all of those things that are there. But I just sit and I want to be honest with you, and I want to honour the reading that I'm giving you, and say to you that I do feel like there is still that time around you, you know, just lessons and things like that. You can succeed, you can thrive, you can have absolute joy and happiness in that. I want to be really, really clear about that. But you perhaps might feel like you're stuck in a little bit of a over the next couple of years, and that's not. Be very mindful that you're not repeating, okay? There's that responsibility within that. But as one lesson closes, it's like you're super accelerating through, you know, so you're just going to have lesson. But again, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of success through that. I just don't want you to feel like you're on the wrong track through that, so I want to share that with you now. But trust me when I say, gee whiz, it leads to such a beautiful place. All right, so I hope all of that helps. Thank you very much for joining me. Good luck with your journey, and as I said, keep working on you. All right. Okay, where are we at time-wise? Beautiful. I'm going to do 2 more readings. I'll see what the time is about at that time. I've got to head out shortly. I'm really strong around November. There'll be a couple that come along before that, but they'll be not, just not clicky. It's not clicky enough. Nothing more than that. I'll pull you a couple of cards, but yeah, that's. It's random. And so, like, even if you're using, say, like dating sites and things like that, I want to say, when I say random, it'll be on a, I don't know, you found yourself with an extra 5 minutes because you got stuck waiting in line somewhere, so you jumped on and there was this person, or, it's random. It's random. Which, when I say it out loud a few times, sounds really generic, but that's what I mean. It's like, it'll just be that one moment, that one thing that you do that just is like, oh, and everything kind of just clicks with it. It's almost romantic. Nice. So when I pull your cards, it just says being open to embracing the changes. So, don't walk in with and I know you don't, but don't walk in with a big list of expectations and, a checklist of things people have to tick off and all the rest of it. Have your core set of boundaries and values and morals and things like that, absolutely. But other than that, be open to just whatever comes in. I think you'll find that the different that feels strange will be I want to say the new that is you. I'll just go with the flow of the sound. You've got the P positive card that's there, so your attitude is a choice. And with that, it is just a matter of just keeping the faith. That's all that's saying. It's going, yeah, it's cool, it's coming. And I know that sometimes it can feel like it's taken forever, but just, keep it on. The patience card. Again, I jumped right to the end of the year, so I do apologise. But, it is what it is. And look, see, again, the patience card has the garden, okay? Little beautiful baby seedling. Oh, there we are. Grows all the way up to the plant, okay, because I've watered it and I've nurtured it and I've taken care of it while it's been growing. So keep doing what you're doing, okay. You're all good. I hope that helps. All right. Let me catch. Oh, nice, cool. I wasn't sure if you wrote that before or after. Yep, sweet as. Priscilla, go straight up to the beginning of the reading. I think you're like the first person I read for. I didn't pull cards, but I read for you. Renee, I don't find it ethical or moral to tell someone whether they should stay or go in a relationship. I have absolutely made exceptions to that rule over time, but it's been due to domestic violence situations and things like that. So what I want to say to you in that though is, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. And I want you to have a look at that for both sides. It feels like on both sides of the energy here there is so much it's I want to say like it's so far deep. I don't want to say gone, because I know that that's the word off the back of the saying, but I don't want to say that because it's not gone. But it's so far in this. I feel like walking in and going, and look, I'm just going to use a sarcastic example. I don't mean to sound like a smarty pants, but I feel like walking and going, do we even actually remember what we're fighting about here? It's like it's tangled and intermeshed into everything. There definitely needs to be a breather here. Again, it doesn't have to be a separation. There needs to be a breather here. That don't hold on to something that just doesn't want to be held on to either. Listen to words that are being spoken, even the words that are coming out of your own mouth, because sometimes we say things without thinking because that's what we're really thinking, and when we don't filter, the truth comes out. And it's, I feel that there's, sometimes we just have to accept the words that we're being told. If we're being told, oh, this is not what I want, this is not how I feel, that we have to honour that. Even if we think that that's not true, I know you love me, and things like that. And as I said, I'm just using examples. I'm not saying that this is the way that it is, but all of that energy that's there within there, it is the way it is, and it has to just sort of sit and be accepted. So that's where I say, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it is a duck, it is not a swan. Okay, there was, I get it, there's been a lot of stuff happen here, there's been a lot of things that have had to be dealt with and stuff like that, so I don't actually necessarily just want to write this off, okay? I'll be 100% honest with you, but if you guys can't clear that energy around you, then make some decisions based on what's best for you and not what you think is supposed to be, okay? So I hope that that helps. It's 3 o'clock. Alright, I'm going to do one more after Robin. Okay, guys, I am back on Monday, though. I'm back on Monday for another live feed. And just remember that the code January will get you 25% off of readings. Oh, cards are like flipping as I'm shuffling. Alright, let me focus. You know, this obviously got something to do with the way that I shuffle, but for those of you that were on the Wednesday live feed, you'll know there was a bit of a theme happening with the foot cards at the end, and you got one as well, which is the Cycles card. I don't pull cards to, blah, 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 like I don't generally, whatever, but it just seems to be a little bit of a habit that's happening there, and the cards are always relevant that flip over, so I'm just going to give that to you as well. Beginnings and endings are a natural order, okay? So let me just pull some cards for you. You also had a jump card, which is a sunset card. Interesting. I'll just leave that sitting there for a second. I just want to jump into this energy. Alright, so you've got the female card, which talks about that the energy shifts have to come from within, okay? So for the things that we're waiting for to change, things that are out of whack that are driving us mad, none of that's going to shift or change unless we actually put the energy into it. Waiting for things to come in, you know, oh, yeah, no worries, I'll catch you up in 6 months and I'll drop that off. You'll have to call them in 6 months to make sure they drop it off, otherwise I'll forget. It's that kind of energy. It's this energy that you put into things at the moment that's going to make the difference. I feel like there's an energy that's there that I want to honour, okay, and it's been sitting there for a decent enough time, and it's almost like it started as a niggle and now it's an awareness. It's like I know that this isn't settling for me correctly, okay, and it's almost like I feel stuck within that. I'm trying to be mindful of my words, not that it's anything secretly, but we're in a public forum and I just want to, you know, honour that space. But that's what I want to do. It's like, as I said, it started off as a little niggly, and now it's like an awareness. I want to make some shifts and changes, but I don't know how. I feel really uncomfortable about that. I don't know how other people are going to react and are going to respond. And, you know, again, these could just be, we perceive things in different ways. So, you know, you might, just going to use something really silly just to give a funny example. Like, you know, I want to do belly dancing, but I feel like, you know, people are going to laugh at me. Or it could actually be something as significant as, you know, I want to leave a relationship. As I said, it's for somebody viewing the relationship status, somebody viewing the belly dancing status, depending on how that person is, they may view both situations with just as much anxiety, okay? So that's where I want to just sort of leave it open. And so I just want to say to you, you've got the spirit card that comes in, which again I'm sure you've heard is a sign from spirit. It's like, we've got your back, you know, we've got your back, all right? Stand strong, you've got this, you've got this. And so the sunset card talks about, you know, now it's been it's the end of an era, beginning onto a new phase. If I continue to pull your cards, you've got the new beginnings. You need to clear out the stables, out with the old and in with the new. You got the shit happens card, but know that your goals are not impossible. And you've got the take 5 card that's there as well. You've got the cycles card that's popped out, but we knew that one was sitting towards the top of the deck anyway, but doesn't mean it wasn't relevant. Self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins. You need to let go of the things that are binding you and holding you back. Yes, you're uncertain. However, what you need to know most for yourself, you got the S card, so it's to finish, is that this completion wants to come through. You need to allow that completion to come in, okay? Be mindful of your balance, but know that when you actually step in and just, you know, honour that inkling that's there, you're going to see improvements of self and situations, and you're going to see a nice change of life. Alright, that was your last 2 cards for what you need to know most, alright? And that's how I pull my spread, guys. There's 12 cards in for the situation and the experience, and the final 4 cards that I pull of what you need to know most within all of that, okay? So that is what I have for you, Robin. I hope that helps. Yeah, just you know, we get one life, we get one opportunity to be happy, and all of those one opportunity to be happy. We get a million opportunities to be happy, but you know what I mean, within that one life of overallness is what I mean. Just honour yourself and serve yourself. I hope that helps. Alright, lucky last for the day. I'll do another one, but I just want to answer Shikari. I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry, I can't say names. I'm still going to read for you. What I want to say is there's a lot of energy going on at the moment, and it wavers in and out as well. Sometimes we're just busy, like literally. You know, I've been doing this for quite a number of years now, and I know, like, if I've got, for example, a big exam block coming up, or if I've got a lot of stress that's on my mind over something to do with something else, all of a sudden the work goes like that, and it's like the universe just creates space for me to deal with these other things and doesn't overwhelm me with work. And as soon as that's complete, I'm full again, you know, and it flows in cycles. It's the same as our own disconnection of self and all that sort of stuff like that. So it just happens sometimes. Just do a check-in, clean up yourself, you know, reground, rehydrate, reconnect is basically how it'll be, okay? You know what I mean? Just take that time, look after yourself bodily, and don't be fearful that they're gone. You know what I mean? Don't stress that you've done something wrong or anything else like that. The harder we look, the harder they are to see. All right? They're absolutely still there, so sometimes our hearing goes to other places. Sure, okay, I can do that. You're going to be my lucky last. Alright. So guys, as you do, check out for the day. I am back on Monday. Remember to use the January code if you would like a reading. Hoping to get the mediumships and demons and everything else like that back up on and running soon. It's just a, you know, just a time. But I'm here. Alright, Emmy. You feel like you've got an idea, and I was about to jump with it, and then it kind of blew out a little bit, and I want to say to you when I sit with it, you've got an idea. It may actually be like a study block or something else like that that's sitting, but there's definitely learning within this, and I don't feel that learning is in life's challenges and life's lessons. I feel that learning is in learning, okay? It's got a really nice strong energy that's there with it, but see, like I'm a little bit, so I want to say to you, shake off any doubt that's around that energy you've got to start moving forward, okay? I don't feel like this is just a quick task that's there, and I feel like there's a fair bit of energy into it, because my tongue definitely literally feels like it wants to twist in my mouth right now, which shows me it's like, and when I look at it, it's like I'm covered in a spider's web, and all that means is there's lots of lines, you know. Your card is Catch the Rainbow. Remember that your goals are not impossible. Like, I want to say to you, go big here. If you're planning on being, you know, just for example, the first person that, I don't know, paints a house in bloody rhinestones, or you won't paint it, but you'll stick each one on there. I wonder if that's ever been done before. Far out, can you imagine that? I'll have to Google it now. But, you know, it seems like such an impossible thing that's there. You're actually going to be the one that does it. You know what I mean? That's the energy that's there with it. So definitely shoot really high with it, and just, yeah, there's such a nice positive energy that's there that I can't help but just sound all cliche and go for it. You've got the trust card. Self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins, but you need to make the commitment to move forward. Seal the deal. Make the commitment to move forward. You know what? Yeah, there's such a nice energy that's there with it that I'm just going to settle with that. Let me pull you just a couple of cards with it. Yeah, don't procrastinate. You've got a really nice level of self-awareness coming in and around yourself, and the relationships that are with you on the following journey are going to support you, okay? There's the sunset there, which is just, as I said, you're ready to move on to a new phase, so I don't feel like I need to jump onto that too much. Just make sure you're letting go of any little bits and pieces that are, you know, holding you back, because you can be a little bit self-sacrificing at times, you know, and no time for that now. You've got a whole bloody house to go rhinestone the house, okay? Again, you've got a really strong card around the love relationship, but as I said, the relationships around you are going to support you. The dead end card, this way no longer works. You know what, again, I don't necessarily feel like I want to get heavy with that card. I just want to point out it really truly is time to get started, okay? Clearing out the stables, out with the old and in with the new, that's all cool. What you need to know most, just allow the healing in. And look, when I said clearing out the stables, I felt like I was actually losing a friendship within that. So then when it follows with the healing card, I just want to say that's a natural process that's there. It doesn't feel good, but you know, it's part of life, okay? You've got a decision to make. Make the decision that allows you to move forward, okay? You trust your intuition. It's time for you to confront your fears and work through them, all right? Gee whiz, I don't know what it is that you're doing, but it's got me wanting to put rhinestones all over a building. It's like, really nice energy that's there. I want to just say to you, I just want to say, just in case, okay? This may be an energy that's just starting to brew around you, just starting to build, and it'll race very quickly. There's no way in God's name that you're sitting here for 2 years going, oh, I wonder what that is, at all, okay? But even if it's just in its beginnings, that's there. Start investigating, start researching, start throwing energy into this movement, all right? It's such a nice positive. So for whatever it is for you that you're waiting to bring in for you next, as I said, supersize it, bedazzle it, and go hard, okay? It really is. I'm excited, like I'm literally so excited. I just feel really, really positive, and I just want to, I feel like I could just sit here for 15 more minutes just to sit in this feeling, okay? That's how strong it is. So definitely honour that which is trying to come in next. It's busting a gut, alright? Everything else is sitting really nicely around you, okay? So I feel like you're a little bit of an overthinker and that I just need to say that to you. Everything is sitting okay, alright? Just do what needs to be done. The little things that are going to be lost around you that's there, it's time and they will be replaced, okay? The relationships around you will support you. So I hope all of that helps. Guys, thank you very much. I will again see you on Monday. Just remember, if you would like to book a reading, you can use the code January and get 25% off. If you'd like to buy one of my books, send me a message. And other than that, wish you all a beautiful weekend. Have fun, be good. If you can't be good at it.